everyone, Chris Patterson here, fantasy author, and yes, I am sitting in a gym. This is where I work out and where I train other people who want to get in shape, but that is not why we're here. We are here today to talk about writing and how to make our writing better. I've created a couple different times. I've created some videos on how I plan and plot out my books. If you are a writer, you've heard the term pantser versus plotter. I started off as a pantser, writing by the seat of my pants, just sitting down and writing. And because I used to write like that, it did create a lot of issues for me when it came to editing. And so I have become a diehard plotter. I believe that plotting out and spending some time and planning out your book or your story is extremely beneficial. Now, what I've realized is the videos that I've created before are just a little too long, and if you're like me, you have a very short attention span. I'm sure I have some undiagnosed ADHD, and I just lose interest after about 5 or 6 minutes. So my goal is to break these down into smaller videos, more digestible videos, so I hope you get something out of these. Okay, so I use a planning or a plotting system by Michael Hauge. It is a 6-stage plotting system. Michael Hauge is a screenwriter, and one of the things that he kind of figured out is that a lot of readers today read books as if they're watching a movie. And so we break the book up as if it were a movie. And one of the things that I've found is it makes books very enjoyable for the reader, because it is similar to the flow of a movie, which we're all used to. Before we get started, one of the things that you need to remember is that every story, every book is about a journey. The main character, the protagonist, is going on a journey. Now, this is not just a physical journey. This is really, really important to understand. Your main character has to go on both a physical and a psychological or mental journey. Depending on the type of book, it could be more physical than mental. Men's adventure, certainly sci-fi, fantasy, oftentimes mostly physical journey. Romance, mystery, detective novel, more psychological journey. But your main character needs to go on both. So we open up the book, we open up the story with our main character in their natural element. And we need to portray the character as who they are in that moment. They are who they are. They have a certain set of likes and dislikes, a personality. And we know that. So how do we portray that to the reader? Well, one of the things and one of the pitfalls that I think a lot of writers fall into is this concept of info dumping. We just create a bunch of backstory within the first couple chapters. And really what that does, because it's a lot of prose, it's a lot of just ink on paper, and it really turns readers off. It's a lot of information, and really honestly, for the modern day reader, it's just too much information. This is why I like to open up books and stories with the main character in a situation of conflict, a stressful situation, a situation where they need to figure out a solution, so that the reader can see who they are in those situations. They can really get a sense of what their personality is. The other way we can do this, and the other way I like doing this, and I get a lot of positive reviews about my dialogue. Dialogue is really, really important, and it's a great way to show the personality of your characters. How do they respond to situations? How do they respond to other people? What does their vocabulary look like? Are they humorous? Are they grumpy? Are they excited? Whatever it might be. So open up a story with some conflict, open up a story with a lot of dialogue, and I think you'll be able to present who your character is to your reader, and what their personality is. Now, you have to understand that it needs to change. Okay, over the course of the book, your character needs to change and needs to evolve, as everyone does. So this starts to happen at roughly 10% into the book. 10% into the book, we have what is called turning point number 1. And turning point number 1 is your main character is presented with an opportunity. Now, we as the author know that this opportunity is going to be the beginning of both a physical and psychological change in the main character. The main character doesn't know that. And in fact, the main character in this situation has no desire to change. They see an opportunity that they believe is going to be beneficial to them because they believe it's going to be beneficial to them, they act on that opportunity. Again, we as the author have planned out what the change is going to look like in our main character. And so with that in mind, this is the beginning of that change, right? A couple things about this opportunity. The opportunity needs to look beneficial to the main character. It doesn't mean it has to be a promise of riches. Maybe it's a way to get out of a sticky situation, whatever the case may be. It has to look beneficial to the main character though. It also has to be a little scary, right? There has to be a little bit of tension there, as most opportunities do in real life. There's a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety, and so the opportunity also needs to bring with it a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety for the main character. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop. The first 10% of your book, present your main character as who they are, what their personality is. Do that through some action, through stressful situations, through dialogue. And then at roughly 10% into the book, you need to present your main character with an opportunity that looks enticing for them, but you as the author know it is going to begin their change throughout the book. All right, I hope this helps. Until next time, happy reading and happy writing.